السلام عليكم. لقاء تاع مسلمين متواجدين هنا في نيو جيرسي. برنامج خاطينا الشجرة هذه على كل حال. احنا متواجدين في فندق ماريوت مدينة تينك نيو جيرسي.
I can take cash or Venmo. You know him. He knows you very well. So I invited him for next week. I'm going to send him. I'll send him the flyer. I've got.
Especially when, the idea came up. I think being excused from gym and sports stuff during Ramadan was this idea that wasn't really that common in schools, but passing all food, having prayer time, having offered Eid, that was just a common topic in so many schools that were fighting for it. But I never really heard of the athletics policy that came up. It was something that we kind of wanted to push out towards other schools because it was uncommon, and I think it's such an important topic that especially when the team shared this experience or track, this is a real thing. Kids in school are going through this. You talk about, your cousin who literally passed out. It's dangerous, and we want to ensure good health amongst our students, Muslim students, everyone. Then that's definitely something that we kind of need to push out more towards what we want to fight for.
And last question to you, saying one, what issues are you interested in really, focusing on through your activism for the Muslim community?
Well, I have a similar one as Assad. I think Islamic ignorance is the biggest problem in America. It's not like these students are purposely thinking, oh yeah, these guys are bad. It's the things that they're getting taught, the things that they're not getting taught. It's the information that these teachers, these communities are putting in their heads. So I think all around the country there should be more events for Islamic teachings, more courses like Assad said, that will inform students of what's going on in today's world. And all in all, I think if we fix that, it'll be a better place for everybody.
Well, thank you all so much for your advocacy and the work that you do. You're really creating space for other Muslim students like you. It's work I wish I had when I was going to school. So thank you so much for taking the time out to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mateen, Noreen, and Asad. All right, guys, now we have a break. We're going to have a Maghrib prayer. And I believe there's a women's prayer room outside near the ladies' room, and the men's prayer room is going to be in the atrium. Thank you. And also, somebody dropped the BMW car keys. I'm going to keep them up here. Thank you.
واحد طاحوا له مفاتيح تاع الطوموبيل BMW. نكملوا لا. المهم بداو العرض من 12 حتى ل 8. راهي 4:30 انا جيت طاري. الصراط المستقيم. ما كانش فيه المبيعات. هذا اللباس الأفغاني هذا نايس. Is it made by hand? This or is it made by hand or not? Machine? I see. It's all made from Afghanistan, right? MashaAllah. Yeah. مياو بوسيبل نقدر نجوز منها، راهي بلوكيات الحالة. نولي من جيت كان درك ماشي تقوى from the river to the sea. هذا العلم تاع اتراك هذا مع الترك. الحمد لله الجالية المسلمة راهي تزيد وتزيد، يعني من الدول العربية والآسيوية. نعم. So what you have here, partnership program, Islamic finance, payment way go anywhere else. This is commercial financing. السلام عليكم brother. شكرا. السلام عليكم. Center for Security Rights and Rights. تنك بيس ما شاء الله. نعاودو ندخلو. واو ما شاء الله يا رب. وعليكم السلام خوخا، اهلا بكم اهلا بكم. هذا وين خرجوا لي بداو تخرجوا التعليقات. اهلا اهلا بوفاء خوخا، اهلا بكم. كيفاش نعمل لك؟ جيت تروطار شويه على البرامج هادو. هما كلا وشربوا كلا، ما كليت ما شربت، يعني معليش. خاطرش البارح كان عندنا ثلج وقالوا بلي ثلج ولا كاين ثلج لا ما كانش، يعني هذا البرنامج راح يديروه، يعني الايفنت هذا الايفينمون هذا يصرى. Discover how Muslim civilization influencing today. Bergen County, Muslim civilization. Oh, تلقى القوار interested more. اهلا بكم معنا. ما تنساوش يوم الخميس ثاني كاين نديروا اللايف الموضوع تاعنا ان شاء الله. عمي مدوا لي كاطو لهنايا. ما عندي حاجه في لي كاطو انا. راهم يتصوروا مع السيف. بلانات اهلا بك اختي. والله نشوف مكان نقعد فيه شوية ومن بعدنا. لا، هذا ايفنت واحد اخر ما عندوش علاقة بالامام الله يرحمه اللي توفى الله يرحمه. هذاك توفى تم دفنه البارح الله يرحمه. لكن هذه كل سنة كاين هذا ايفنت. رانا متواجدين هنا في متواجدين هنا في الأوتيل هذا ماريوت. المهم قلنا نولي منه باسكو ما هنا كاين شركات تاني، كاين الأوتيل وكاين شركات أخرى هنايا متواجدين. ندخل منه. يعني ما شاء الله اللي قايمين عليها هنا تقريبا الباكستان ولا المسلمين ولا الهنودة ولا والأفغان، هما لم يقوموا بعد العرب شوية. أنا راهم في مكان وين ياكلوا له. هذا كل سنة يعملوا لقاء بين المسلمين هكذا ويديروا برامج والألعاب الأطفال والناس تلتقي ويجوا هذوما اللي عندهم شركات المسلمة كما يقولوا تاع اللي يبيعوا ديار، اللي عندهم شركة تأمين مسلمين وكل حاجة يعرضوا لهنا، يجوا يعرضوا. واللي عنده أي بزنس وكل حاجة يزيد يدير محامي مسلم وكل حاجة يجي لهنا يقول أنا محامي مسلم إذا احتجتوني، يعني باش تكون الجالية تكبر هكذا. هاي شوف مكان الأكل هنا يوم.
How old are you? And you play with your friends, just like.
والله هما واقفين على الإسلام الحق، يعني أكثر من العرب الحق يقال هذوما. يعني بعض الأحيان كيديروا كيفاش يقولوا يمدوا التبرعات للمسجد وكلش، تلقاهم هادو الباكستان ولا فاني يمدوا. الله يبارك عندهم دراهم، يمد 10,000 دولار 5,000 دولار تبرعا للمسجد. هادي هي ماشي كيف ربي. السلام عليكم سعيد. تكلمت مع واحد كان إمام مسجد، تكلمت معه كان من قبل كان كما يقولوا رئيس بلدية هنايا، كان حاكم واحد البلدية هنا بمعنى ظاهر يسموها سيتي هنايا. ونهار اشتروا الأرض، قطعة أرض ببناء المسجد، تعرضوا المشاكل محبوش، ما خلاوهمش يشتريوها باش يبنوا المسجد. اشتروا الأرض لكن باش بناء المسجد ما. والله وقف عليها هذا الإنسان، وهو كذلك دكتور يعني عنده، وقف حتى بنى المسجد. واحد من الناس اللي عاونوا في المسجد قال لي مدلو 100,000 دولار، عاونوا ب100,000. كان سلفية وكان اللي مدها، يعني قالوا السلفية قالوا نمدلك 100,000 دولار. قالوا دوك هادو 100,000 دولار ابنيوا المسجد وراي عندكم سنين، كيقولوا اكثر من 10 سنوات باش تردها لي، عندك الوقت لان ولادي مازالهم صغار كيلحقوا الجامعه، ماذا بكم تردوا لي دراهم. شفتهم كيفاش هما كيفاش يدافعوا على الدين هنا. والله ما شاء الله. احنا راني موجود. هذا هو البيلدينغ، هذا برا البيلدينغ راني لداخل. هذا هو كي تشوفوا من برا تشوفوا هذا هو البيلدينغ. انت واجدين الاخر. ان شاء الله كما واش نقول، واش نخليه ودي. فعلا احمد ما شاء الله في ميزان حسناته تحفه كبير. لا روعه يعني. شوف هنا الحق يعني كي وما كان يعني يخليوه نظيف ويعرفوا يستغلوا كلش. يبني لك فندق معاه قدامه شركات، فندق يحطوا قدامه شركات يعني كما الكراء السيارات موجودة هنا قريب ليه وكلش. على بالهم يجي واحد آخر تما جا من ولاية واحدة أخرى على جنب الآخر يسحق يكري سيارة، يخرج من الأوتيل من الشومبرا تاعو يروح ديريكتومون يكري طوموبيل ويروح بها، ومن بعد كي يكمل شغله لهنايا يعاود يرد الطوموبيل وكلش. يديروا كي يبنيو مكان هكذا وكاع المرافق الضرورية تكون موجودة معه باش واحد يسهلوا الأمور. بونسوار كويزين لا بيرل. أهلا بك أختي. المهم هذا اللايف جا صدفة، ما كنتش ناوي نديرو، لكن قلت نشارك معكم هذا الايفينمون هنايا. ولكن للاسف جيت روطار بزاف. الايفينمون بدا على 12 من 12 حتى ل 8، وانا راهي دوك الساعه قريب الخمسة 10 جيت. يعني كانوا داروا واحد النقاشات تكلموا فيها وكلش. كويزين عندنا واحد الموضوع يوم الخميس، تحبي تحضري معنا موضوع كما يقولوا ستان سوجي، موضوع حساس شويه، ماشي حساس دون لو سونس حساس تحسي بها هكذا واحد شغل تشيكي. والله ظاهره غريبه راهي راهي انتشرت في للأسف في الجزائر، يعني بالعموم يعني والبنات خاصة، والبنات عامة. يعني الظاهرة هذه تلقاها بنت تدعي للإسلام ودير الدعوة دير كلش، بعدين نسالكو يعني فجأة تلقاها تنزع الحجاب وخلاص. نعم ظاهرة كامل. أنا شفت والله ما شفت سعوديات هنا تاني نحاول الحجاب، سعوديات يعني كاين. نو عليكم السلام ورحمة الله، أهلا بك يا أخي. يعني الإشكالية اللي راهي تطرح، كاين من الفوق، الإشكالية اللي راهي تطرح أن يديروا الدور، زعما الدور مؤثرين لا مؤثرات، ومن بعد واش يلعبوها مؤثرين، ومن بعد واش يصرى. المهم خلي الله واش يصرى. هذا المؤثرين يشوفوا الموضوع اللي يطرحوه، يعني خاصة في المواضيع الدينية. المواضيع الدينية لا تجلب، ما تجيبش المشاهدات بزاف، وبالك ما تدخلهمش دراهم بزاف، ما باليش يقلبوا الفيستا كما نقولوا، يروحوا للتفاهات. لكن واش داك يعني هذا الاخر اللي ما عجبنيش. كل واحد حر يلبس ينحي، كل واحد حر في روحه، لكن ما تجيش بالدين، تلعبها بالدين ومن بعد سا مارش با. ومن بعد المشكل ان وحده هذه اللي دارت هذا الامر التفت انتباهي ونحاتو، كانت داعيه وتهضر بالدين وكل حاجه، ومن بعد دارت قالت لهم واش دخلكم، ويماها دافع وزيد يماها معاها وشرح لكم فيها وشرح لكم في بنتي وكلش. الله يهدينا ويهديهم ان شاء الله. بيان سور هذيك الاجر على الله مع الاخر. هذه الامور هذه تاع عقيده وكلش، الاجر يجي مع الله في الاخير. هذا can you George? Yeah. Thank you, brother. I know everything is connected here, like the hotel and there is a company here, right? Yeah. I understand. Yeah. Is it possible like to go from here up and go down on the other side? Just is it possible? No. I understand it. I got you. Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna go through the door then. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. You did something. Thank you. حبيت نطلع الدروج هذا، قال لك ما تقدرش، يعني ما حبيتش. هم الاطفال هنا يلعبوا، يهضر معك جونتيمون، يعني يشوف التحضر هذا. الدعوة راهي كبيرة، أنا ما باليش راك تشوف رمي بالسهام وكلش. شو كاين الريح تما، كاين البالون هذاك، ما تعرفش لا خطير. كنت منه بس ما تجيش هذا الكوتي برك. قعدونا في وسط الطريق، هذوما منعونا من المرور. المهم كما قال هذاك سموه الفرون داسك، هذاك اللي يخدم في الفرون داسك، قال لك كاين بزاف هنا لي كومباني، ماشي وحده ولا زوج، لا كيقول لك بانش اوف كومبانيز وكلشي. نعاود نخرج من هنا. المهم شويه نعاود نرجع للايفنت لكش ما كاين برنامج. عندي البرنامج في التليفون واش راح يزيد يديروا، بس والله ما نقدرش نقراه دوك، ما على باليش. دوك انت كويزين اللي خرجتي بكري من الجزائر، يعني ما باش وقتاش خرجتي من البلاد، لا خرجتي صغيره تسمى ما واش حتعلمي. مام حتى في سويسرا كاين العرب، لا ما كانش تسمى واش اسكو راكو جاليه، راكو عايشين جاليه تما، ولا كل واحد جاب بروحو. هو لازم يكون انتماء للجاليه الاسلاميه، لان ليس كل عربي مسلم. خرجتي كي كان في عمرك 20 سنه. 20 سنه مازلتي صغيره. شوف كي خرجتي مازلتي صغيره. هي على بالي. شوف انا نقول الصح، يعني كل واحد يجي الغربه كي يتلاقى مع ناس قدم عليه يقولوا يا ودي، اللي حبيت تنجح ما تخالطش العرب. هذه هي، وهذه يقول لك ما تخالطهمش. ورغم ذلك حنا ما نقدروش، ما كما نقولوا ما نقدروش ما نخالطوهمش. بعدا بينا الناس كيما بحالنا يهضروا كيما بحالنا وندوروا معاهم، كي نعيشوا معاهم ونعاشروهم نلقاو مشاكل. ولكن هذا ما يمنعش انك اذا خالط القبور مش حتلقى معاهم مشاكل. انا القبور ما همش كيما يقول القدوه تاعي، باش يعني انا كي يقول العربي توجور نعتبره مسلم. هذه هي، ولكن ما تعرفش العقليه الناس بزاف تبدلت. هذه هي. كل واحد المونطاليتي تاعو. دوك ندخل في لاصال دي كونفيرونس هذيك ونساي نقرا التعاليق. هنا راه شغل هنا الصفا والمروه هنا بزاف. شوف يمكن كاين بعض لا لو قرا البنات راح يديروا الاناشيد الدينيه كلهم. نريح لهنا وخلاص. يا ربي. المؤمن من آمن الناس. أنا اللي تكون لو تصلي غير الخالق رب الله قلبك راسي مسيحية ناقصين بزاف. هاهم هناك متحجبات وغير متحجبات بلانت. على كل حال الإنسان، أنا بعض الأحيان غير متحجبات مانيش نصورهم، ولكن بعض الأحيان يجوزوا بصفيرة. أهلا بك أخت جيمة، مرحبا بك أختي الكريمة، أهلا بك. أخت جيمة أختنا من المغرب، أهلا بك. ما شاء الله من البنات. شو طفوا الضوء كاع بزاف. والله ما نعرف باش ينشدوا، ممكن بالعربية والله. تبادلوا الاشتراكات لا ما كنتش مشتركين بعضكم. هادو نفس اللي نظموا العيد الأضحى في الملعب آخر مرة، هما نفسهم اللي نظموا هذا المهرجان هذا ولا الإيفنت، هما نفسهم. يعني كل ما يكونوا المسلمين ساكنين في الكاونتي كما يقولوا الدائرة واحدة نفسها، عندهم القوة في التغيير في الكريكولوم. الكريكولوم هو البرنامج الدراسي، يقدروا يغيروه، يكون عندهم قوة شوية يكونوا كذا. في نيو جيرسي حاليا موجودين. يا هاوليك تسنطق نوري لك اصلا نكبر لك هذا. ها انا معاك، انا تاع اللحم الحلال انا لازم نكون سير منه، ما نشريش برك. والله واحد صديق تاعي يعني بعت لي واحد الفيديو فيه شيخ يقول باللي شيخ هيدا فيديو ولي دار هذا الفيديو، خدا الكلام تاع داك الشيخ واحد بوشي. صرنا نسمعوا له، ما نقدرش من بعد الكلام. المهم يلا نباري بارد. هذا الشيخ هذا حتى يقول لهم تقدروا تاكلوا اللحم والدجاج يعني بدون ما فيش ما تذكر فيه اسم الله وكل حاجه. هذا الشيء فيه ودير هبلت انت يا خويا، واش بيك؟ اتونسيون الناس يغلطوا فيك وكلش. هادو من الناس كان بعد دوك فيديوهات راهم يتوهوا في الناس كما يخلطوا في عقليه تاع الناس وكلش، وما تامنش. أودي هذا اللي تاع الماكلة الكوشير، يقولوا له الكوشير، هذا ما هذاك والله ما ناكلو، ما ندورش بهم كاع. يقول لهم البنات الصغير يقول لهم كتاكيت كتكوتات. اللهم من على الجميع ان شاء الله. يعني اي بلد اخرى صعيبه، يعني بلدك الاصلي ولا غير الاصلي، يعني وات هابند، واش عاودوا نزلوا من المنصه ولا صوروهم برك ولا ما يغنيوش.
Please find a seat. Take your seats. We're going to start in a few minutes. Please take your seats.
يا وليدي على جبت لي الكاميرا تاعك لهنا. يا راح حاجه مليحهم هذو تاع الاسيويين، يعني الباكستان والافغان والهنود يتعاونوا، والله غير يتعاونوا. نعم. السلام عليكم. يخمسوا بالمعرفة، على بالك يخمسوا غير اللي يعرفوها، على بالك هذه اللي ما فهمتهمش هذو الهنود هذا. كي يكونوا زعما زوج ثلاثة كيف بيناتهم، هو يجي يسلم، واحد يعرف ويسلم عليه والآخرين ما يسلمش عليهم. عقلية. من قبيل كنت مع كان الإمام هو سوري أنا أعرفه، كان معه واحد، جا واحد آخر سلم على الإمام والآخر ما سلمش عليه، نورمال. ومن بعد أنا بعد كي جيت سلمت على الإمام، خمست معاه، زدت خمست مع الآخر. هذه روماركيتها ماشي خطرازو، هذا ما فهمتوا عليه.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Peace and blessings be upon all of
لا
you.
عقلياتها.
Welcome friends, family, neighbors, community
عصاش
members.
غالي تهضر
My
عليك.
name is Jessica and I'm a member of the E Committee, and I'm so happy today to welcome you to the first ever Muslim Heritage Month celebration in New Jersey. So again, welcome to our celebration of Muslim Heritage Month. The bill for Muslim Heritage Month was signed in April 2023, designating January of each year as Muslim Heritage Month. And it's amazing just to think how much work and how much has been done since April to make today possible. Thank you again for joining us. Muslim Heritage Month Committee kicked off in May 2023 with representatives from about 40 towns across New Jersey focused on planning this event and activities across our libraries in the state. This is the first year we recognize and celebrate Muslim Heritage Month across New Jersey with several events. I mentioned that several times, and that's because this is just a great milestone, so I think it's worth mentioning. This session is sponsored by the E Committee of New Jersey, which was formed 20 years ago with the sole purpose of propagating unity, harmony, and peace in the community. Now more than ever, that is so important. The committee started with bringing people together for Eid prayers, then expanded to organize community fairs, grand iftars, and interfaith gatherings. One of the major events that the Eid committee organized was the historic Eid
لازم الإمام يكون قدوة. نعم.
Stadium in 2019, And this event was attended by tens of thousands of Muslims from across the tri-state area. And if you were there, you know it was a great, great event. Their Eid committee brought Eid prayer back to MetLife Stadium during the pandemic in 2021 for Eid prayer, and it raised COVID relief funds for India. Last year, their Eid committee organized and led Welcome Ramadan and crescent lighted events in over 25 towns across urban counties. The events helped raise awareness and combat Islamophobia. Anyone who has attended an Eid committee event knows that their events are done with class and with purpose. So thank you, Eid committee. And as always, we will start the program with some verses from the Holy Quran. I would like to invite Hafiz, Suhaib, Jawad to come up and read some verses.
البداية بالقرآن الكريم إن شاء الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
My name is Suhaib Jawad, and I will be reciting ayat 13 and 14 from Surah Al-Hujurat. I ask everyone to please observe silence as the Quran is done reciting. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم وإن تطيعوا الله ورسوله لا يلتكم من أعمالكم شيئا وإن تطيعوا الله ورسوله لا يلتكم من أعمالكم شيئا إن الله غفور رحيم. صدق الله العظيم.
صدق الله العظيم.
O mankind, we have created you from a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, that you may know one another. Verily, the most honorable of you with Allah is that who has taqwa. Verily, Allah is all-knowing and well-acquainted with all things. The Bedouins say, we believe. Say, you believe not, but you only say, we have surrendered in Islam, for faith has not yet entered your hearts. But if you obey Allah and His Messenger, He will not decrease anything in reward for your deeds. Verily, Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. Indeed, Allah has said the truth. Jazakallah khair.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khairan. Thank you very much.
So as the saying goes, it takes a village. And we are grateful for our sponsors for their generous support of Muslim Heritage Month, the Expo, and specifically our official sponsor, the Cultural Society of Bergen County, and generous support from our sponsors. So the Village Park starts now, okay? Are you ready? These are all of our sponsors that we're thanking. Bar Realty Group, Bergen Essex Infectious Disease, Bergen Fence and Alltech
هاي
Roofing,
تقول الاسماء تاع لي سبونسوريزاو اللي داروا سبونسور تاع هذا الايفنت
Cape Lab, Ditmar's Pharmacy, Essex Care Pharmacy, Dr. Azala Arshad, Hackensack Cardiology Associates, Khan Law LLP, Mahachar Saha MD, Muhammad Ausat and family, Muslims of Maywood, Muslims of Tina, Muslim Students for Justice, New Jersey Muslim Social, Dr. Nusra and Dr. Mooney, Northern New Jersey Physicians Group, Paramus Muslims, Prime Neurospine Institute, Print Facility Incorporated, Revised Clothing, Teaneck Muslims, Vital Care of Princeton, and V-Ship. MashaAllah, I think just from reading this list and listening to this list, you understand our impact and the vast array of different businesses and different contributions to our community. So thank you again to our sponsors. We now invite our youngest and brightest and beautiful, our Nasheed Nightingales group, led by Rishma Khan, to perform a nasheed. And just so it's clear, a nasheed is a song without instruments, with lyrics that resemble hymns that praise God, Allah. So welcome, Nightingales.
أعتقد يديروا الأناشيد أعطت تعريف الأناشيد أنه هو كلام بدون آلات موسيقية. الله خير. المهم القرآن يتلى في أي مكان يعني ليس إلا في المساجد. كويزين لابير هذه لازم تديرها في نورمالمون. القرآن يتلى أي مكان إلا في بيت الخلاء ممنوع ما لازمش.
We are a group of nasheed singers that started about 6 years ago as a backyard play. We now perform all over New Jersey. We are so excited to be here at the Muslim Heritage Cultural Expo 2024. In this nasheed, we celebrate our love for our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
قالوا ما نديروش الآلات الموسيقية بالقدم. دوك تخلف لي ضروا هكذا الحقوق. ما راهمش على في نفس هذيك الصغيرة تشطح هذاك. لا لا كويزين لا لا ضحكوني البنات. لا لا كويسين. شوفي خلينا نتكلموا على هذه النقطة إن شاء الله، باغي نتكلم لك عليها. ماشي مشكل جيما، ماشي مشكل.
Everything I feel in my heart and wanna say, and it's hard to explain why I was never. مولاي صلي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صلي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. يا رب صل
نخلي لكم النقاش تاع تويجي لابير بيناتكم اللي حبيتوا تتكلموا فيه. المهم انا مانيش موافقه كويزين، مانيش موافقه. بارك الله فيكم، يعطيكم الصحة.
Islam is a religion of complete submission to God and to follow the teachings of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The next highest duty of a Muslim is to respect and honor their parents, especially their mother. The status of a mother is so high in Islam that we are told, paradise lies at the feet of your mom. Here is a teaching from our Prophet, narrated by his close companion Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. He reported that a person came to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and asked, "Who among the people is most deserving of the best treatment from me?" He replied, "Your mother." He then asked, "Then who?"
Your mother. مكانة الأم في الإسلام.
It is your mother. He asked, "Then who?" The Prophet said, again, "It is your mother."
أمك ثم أبوك ثم أبيك.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Then it is your father." In this nasheed, we celebrate the status of a mother in Islam.
نشيد حول الأم. الله يرحم الأمهات المسلمين واللي يبقى قاعدين مازال ربي يطول في عمرهم إن شاء الله.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Nightingale. Mashallah. For those of you standing, I know you're supposed to stand and be at the back of the room, but we'll need you all to have a seat, please. I cannot continue until everybody is seated.
قلت لهم يا جماعة إلا راكم واقفين لازم نحكموا بلايص ما نهضرش حتى ما نكملش حتى ما نهضرش حتى نتقاعدوا كامل. يعني الناس الواقفة هذه يديروا شوية تشويش.
Please have a seat. Okay, everyone, please have a seat. Thank you. Okay, great. So, I'm going to continue thanking all of our partners. We'd like to thank our community partners for their indomitable support. Community Scholarship Fund of TNAC, Martin Luther King Birthday Committee, and it's coming up MLK Day, so it's very appropriate. Fellowship of Reconciliation and Muslim Peace Fellowship, Northern New Jersey Sanctuary and Coalition, TNAC Peace and Justice Vigil, TNAC International Film Festival,
He's on the
and
phone.
Northern New Jersey Jewish Voice for Peace. Thank you so much. Now, our Northern New Jersey Jewish Voice for Peace team, I think in light of recent events and everything that you've sacrificed lately, I'd like to give you all a hand of an applause, and if we can, a standing ovation. Thank you so much.
شكون هادوما؟ والله ما تبعت واش هضرت.
Thank you. Next, we have a 10-year-old, Alia Mirza from Englewood, who will be performing spoken word titled We the People.
الحاجة المليحة في هذا هما يعلموا لهم يسموه البابليك سبيكينغ، ما يتخوفوش من الميكرو كي يتكلموا البنات هذوما على الآخر ما يخافوش من الميكرو.
Standing mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Aya Mirza and I am 10 years old. I will be reciting an original folk word by me and my dad. It
ما
is
شاء الله
called
عليك
We
يا
the People.
بنت.
This life is like a book with endless pages. Every day we turn page as we go through life stages. And for some, life throws things that are outrageous, yet others do things that are brave and courageous. Allah is great and we are ungrateful. We proclaim Islam as our faith but remain unfaithful. Allah gives and forgives but man gets and forgets and then does things that he really regrets. And as he faces troubles that he's never met, he starts to sweat, realizing he's caught in Shaitan's net, getting played like a puppet, tears rolling down his cheeks like a faucet. So you see, it starts with me. And when I fix me, then we can fix our families. We the people need to understand that we need to stand up and stand out in our masjids and community. We the people need cooperation and unity. We the people need to fight for justice and liberty. We the people need to make a declaration to integrate ourselves within this nation without compromisation. Make a bold proclamation. Have an honest conversation. Fight for unification. Our future depends on our contribution. Islam teaches us to do everything in moderation. Islam was sent to all mankind, not just one tribe or nation. Let's start laying the foundation. If we don't have this motivation, we will be failed to future generations. Stop the slipping, skating, sliding into darkness. I don't need glasses to correct my vision. I see things through the lens of a perfected religion. I'm undiluted, unpolluted,
هذا الكلام تاعها هي اللي كتباته.
I refuse to be muted. By Shaitan, I cannot be recruited. My wealth lies with Allah, it can't be looted. My foundation is deep, I can't be uprooted. Allah's plan will be executed, it's not convoluted. I come from a different place, from a different space and time. I don't want what's yours, but don't deny me what's mine. Get out of your darkness, against the Shaitan, start a fight now. Turn on the light now. Brightness, light, nur. Spending in the cause of Allah will never make you poor, but it might gain you entry to Jannah's door. It's as if you're buying a house, but
I'll finish this girl in it.
So, to all of our youth and teens, the Burger Kings and latte queens, fantasizing about their millionaire dreams, plotting and planning their next grand scheme. Don't ignore the call of Allah, the most high, most supreme. He listens to your secret calls and hears your loudest screams. Get up, go out. We the people need to motivate someone. We need to inspire someone. Be the difference in the life of someone. Resist injustice for everyone. For justice, we shouldn't have to think twice. We know fighting for freedom has a price. And for that purpose, we should rise and make the sacrifice so innocent people don't have to lose their lives. We the people need to spend our lives seeking the bounty of the glorious, not be like others trying to be notorious. This dunya is nothing but tests and temptations made up of major distractions and useless social media distractions, full of promises and grand illusions. We the people need to offer better solutions. We the people need to stop jumping hastily to
Exactement, oui.
conclusions. We the people need to be true Muslims and live and die in a state of complete submission. Allah taught us this code through His revelations. Who is it that calls you to prayer, to success? Who do you call it when your life's a mess? Whose light shines on you when you're in total darkness? Who knows your darkest secrets without you having to confess? Wake up, rise up, get together and form a team. Refuse to settle for just the American dream. To us, the sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. So, my brothers, sisters, family, and friends, I ask you today, how do you want your book to end?
كلمة في السؤال في صميم يعني. ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
Wow, mashallah, beautiful, powerful words from our youth. Amazing. We'd like to thank the elected officials for coming. And now we would like to introduce Imam Jawad Ahmed, who is currently the religious director of Muslim Community of New Jersey in Ford's, New Jersey, as well as the religious director of Masjid Wali in Edison, New Jersey. He has been an imam and director in various New Jersey masajid, as well as director of religious studies at Al-Ghazali Islamic High School. Imam Jawad is one of the
الغزالي الهاي
pioneers
سكول
of the
وليدي راه
National
فيه.
Dawah Organization
الإمام هذا قرأ في الغزالي
1877
في الثانوية تاع
My
الغزالي،
honor to invite him up to the stage.
والآن راهو إمام ما شاء الله. أنا وليدي راه يقرأ في الغزالي في ثانوية الغزالي هذه. هاوليك يعني شوف
Can you hear me? Loud and clear.
Yes,
Is that loud and clear?
Yes,
I wasn't enjoying until now.
MashaAllah.
You have to speak in the mic. My advice to the youngsters who came here and to our moderator, you have to learn the art of using the mic.
قالت لازم تتعلموا فن استعمال المايك.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
أنا نخاف شوية كما قالت كويزن.
On behalf of the Muslim Cultural Society of Bergen County and the Eid Committee of New Jersey, we welcome you all to this panel discussion, an amazing program tonight. But before that, I would like to say to my old hometown, Teaneck, hello, Teaneck. I was about 9 years right here across the street as Double Slide Director back in 2001 to 2009. So it's always a homecoming to come to Teaneck, especially this place where we always used to do Eid Iftars with the Eid Committee. I want to thank Brother Tamkeen and Brother Sadiqullah for giving me this opportunity to moderate this panel discussion. And before we introduce our speakers and bring them up to the stage tonight, I really want to thank the parents of Aya Mirza. What an amazing speech she had. Let's give her a big round of applause. You have groomed an excellent daughter, and I can see a bright future. Having 20 years working with kids in Islamic schools, I can say that Aya will be one of the future of the American Muslim society right here in America. We celebrate the Muslim Heritage Month. This is the heritage of Islamic society.
شكرا أختي جيما، بارك الله فيك الحضور
We
تاعك.
have a star-studded lineup, mashallah. And when I was going through the speakers' names, I said there's a lot of similarities and commonalities amongst our speakers and panelists. My job is the easiest job, is just to ask them questions. And they have to answer the questions. But one thing I see in the panel of speakers, we have someone who is a veteran from New Jersey, right from the old days of Rutgers University right in New Brunswick, one of the founders and founder imam of New Brunswick Islamic Center, or as you know, Masjid al-Huda. And then I see also a rookie on the circuit of New Jersey, a new imam who just recently moved from Florida to one of the major centers of Islamic masajid in New Jersey, which is MCMC. And then we also see our beloved imam who lives across the river, across the bridge, but loves New Jersey more than all of us, inshallah, as he is always here in Dar es Salaam and other places. So I would like to request each one to come up to the stage and take their seats accordingly. First of all, I would like to introduce the co-founder of Zaytuna Institute, Imam Zaid Shakir, who is the myth, the man, the legend, and nobody needs any introduction for him as he is known all over the world. Imam Zaid Shakir. Next, we have the founder and director of Ella Collins Institute, and he has been Imam at various different masajid. Imam Suhail Webb.
كان إمام الزهرة اللي نعرفونه هذاك مسجد الزهرة ده.
And next, the third panelist of speaker on the line is our dear Imam Abdullah Smith, who is currently the Imam and Religious Director of MCMC, but he has been Imam in various different states like Florida and Texas. Welcome to New Jersey, Imam. Big round of applause for Imam Abdullah Smith.
هذا كان في فلوريدا وتكساس، الإمام هذا رجع نيوجيرسي حاليا معنا.
One correction, it's Zaytuna College, the first American Muslim college in America. So that's one correction for that. And I'll have each of the Imam, if you can do a mic check, mic check, just to make sure it's loud and clear, and they can hear you.
بانت سعاد فقلب اليوم مدهول.
Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. A big takbir for all three Imams, please. I said takbir. Allahu Akbar. Got you over there. Check. So, in this portion, what we'll be going
نعم،
to do
السنة ولا يرفع
is
الأذان.
ask each of the respective Imams
يسمعوا برا،
certain
ما كان يسمعوا
questions
بك من
around the topic that we have, the theme tonight, Muslim Heritage Month. And like I said earlier, that there's one commonality and similarity between all three Imams. Who would like to highlight that? Anybody? Any volunteer? What, you guys didn't have enough food in lunch? No tea? No biscuits? What's one similarity? Yes, sister.
أهلا بك داجي.
I can't hear it louder. Rewords! Takbir! Converse, reverse, however you want to address it. I know working in Islam for 25 years, we always get this question. So whichever term you use, this is the face of America. This is the future of America. Imams, indigenous from this society, as we collectively celebrate the heritage of American Muslim history right here. And the other aspect of similarity, as I said earlier, is somehow some connection with New Jersey. Without further delay, I would like to move on, and there is, I will be asking each one question, and they can answer in the mic, and therefore the questions will be there to enlighten our audience with the answers from our honorable, respected dear Imams, inshallah. So, in terms of seniority, I would like to go with our dear Imam Zaid Shakir. The first question for you, sir. How can we as Muslims use Islam to contribute to modern society?
That's an easy one. We can use Islam to contribute to modern society by being good, faithful Muslims.
That was sweet and short, you know. I was gonna grab my tea, my coffee to have some intellectual enlightenment, inshallah.
Sometimes the most profound things are the most concise.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Takbir for Imam Zaid Shakir. Allahu Akbar, MashaAllah. All right, next question. I hope he's not brief as his predecessor. The next question for Imam Suhail Webb. What sort of relationship with the Islamic past is possible and relevant for Muslim to cultivate? I'll repeat. What sort of relationship with the Islamic past is possible and relevant for past history? For relevant, I know you understand Urdu because you work with Pakistanis a lot, Mazi ke halme, and relevant for Muslims to cultivate today.
Yeah, I think this is alhamdulillah wa sallallahu alaihi wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammad wa man wala. This is a great question about the past. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, remind them of the days of Allah. And it's important to appreciate history of you know, we should build over this place where this happened, the structure. And I think it was Junaid who used to say, you know, that the stories of the righteous, are like soldiers from God. So our past is important, but our past in America as Muslims is extremely diversified and spread across countless numbers of ethnicities and people. You know, so here Ali, who was in Brooklyn, who was my neighbor in Brooklyn, you know, used to tell me that in the 1850s there were Russians making adhan in Brooklyn. They had a spot that they were praying in. In now what we know to be sort of the financial center of New York City, you had a huge Syrian community at one time. In fact, they used to call that area Little Syria. And there was a masjid there, it's gone, and people would be openly, you know, making the call to prayer. So history is important, but I'll give one example that we learn what Imam Zayd just said. How do we maintain a commitment to Islam and being good Muslims under pressure as well as success? And history allows us to see that. There's a great example is Bilal Muhammad.
نشارك بالاستماع بلانت.
Born in Africa and brought here to America as an enslaved person who died well, he actually died in Georgia, but he lived for a number of years as an enslaved person off the coast of Georgia. And he actually wrote a book, actually it's a manuscript, 13 pages, which some people have romanticized. He wasn't a scholar of Islam. The letters were sometimes wrong, the sad was the seen, the zat was thought, because he wrote from what he heard as a young person. And then part of it is mixed with what he celebrated every day, al-Qayrawani, which we memorized, which my teacher memorized from West Africa. But I think that's actually more relevant, that in his attempt to preserve, and he wrote it in his old age. That's why some Muslim scholars say, obviously his memory wasn't the same when he was younger, but he made an attempt, right, to preserve to preserve his Islam under incredibly difficult circumstances. So I think that's like one example. There's millions as we struggle now to maintain a commitment to our fard, right, our obligatory action in the face of difficulties and success. So that's just like one. There's millions of examples that inspire us. As Imam Zayd succinctly said, to be good Muslims, the best way we can help America is being good service to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and our history, our collective Muslim history, our community doesn't know misguidance, is a constant inspiration as well as a map on how to engage at least certain aspects of history that we are dealing with now.
Can we jump in?
Yeah, sure, by all means.
But that was concise before anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important.
Imam Suhaib mentioned our empire. We are a community whose very existence is predicated on knowledge. And if we don't commit ourselves to the gaining, retaining, and transferring the knowledge that serves as the foundation of our community, we might have a community, but it might not be recognizable to our ancestors. When Islam was strong in Spain, they said, or Andalusia, it said there were 5,000 women who had memorized Sahih Bukhari. 5,000 women have memorized Sahih Bukhari. So we have to be, the noted Orientalist, Franz Rosenthal, wrote a book called Knowledge Triumphant. And he said Islam is the only religion, only civilization
حضر الأندلسية كان 5000 امرأة حافظة صحيح البخاري.
Neolithic civilization, Kush, Nubia, Egypt, geography, Milan, the Nile River Valley, Hindu civilization, Indus River, the Mayan, the Inca, they're all geographically located. The Muslims in Africa, East, West, South Africa, East, West, North Africa, the Muslims in the Balkans, the Muslims in Sheikh Shahid mentioned Russia, the Muslims in Andalusia. So wherever Muslims were able to take the knowledge that serves as the foundation of our civilization, there was a Muslim civilizational episode. So if we're going to have one here in America and contribute to this society, we're going to have to be committed to the knowledge that is the foundation of the deen.
One request, Imam Zaid Sheikh, one request, the audience are giving signals and signs that if you could just keep holding the mic a bit closer. So
The way that you do, so
there we go, now we're talking.
I can get my very white going.
Yes.
فقه الميكروفون.
Go ahead.
قال لازم تعرف كيفاش تشد الميكروفون.
I wanted to piggyback off of what Imam Zaid is saying in reference to the knowledge as it relates to the heritage and contributing to Islam in the place where we live right now in the United States. Imam Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala, when he defined knowledge, he defined it as knowledge as being revelation, and the historical past of the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said, "Al-ilmu qala Allahu qala Rasuluhu qala sahabatu hum ulul irfan." He said that knowledge is what Allah said, and what the Prophet said, and what the Sahaba said. They are the people who are aware. They're the people who know. And so this knowledge of revelation is what's going to catapult us into the future, as the same way that it catapulted the Muslims of the past that left behind for us treasures of knowledge. That we look at the Muslims of China, we look at the Muslims of all the Muslims, the Muslims of Persia, that they left behind treasures. And the reason why we know people like Imam Muslim, we know people like Imam Bukhari, Imam Nasai. The reason why we can remember these people's names is because of the knowledge that they were able to themselves sacrifice for and possess, and what they were able to teach and pass on. And because of that, because of their sacrifices to gain that spiritual knowledge, the knowledge of what Allah Ta'ala has revealed, and the knowledge of the Sunnah of Allah's Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we ourselves are able to enjoy the revelation of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala right here in the state of New Jersey. So it is through that we have to follow in their footsteps. We learn that knowledge, we apply that knowledge, and we teach that knowledge and pass it on so that the next generation can also enjoy the revelation of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala and build Islam and contribute to the society. I apologize, Imam Zaid.
Like I said, this is not an interview. I'm not interviewing the imams, but it's more like a panel discussion. So by all means, feel free to jump right in after the question has been answered by the speaker to whom I asked the question. No holds barred, inshallah. But continuing the discussion about heritage and history, as you mentioned, about Bilal and how he played an important impact and role. I believe all my three brothers would agree with me that when the history is written of the American Muslim heritage, there is one thing that would always stand out, like the Imams rightfully said about knowledge, that this individual showed through his personality how knowledge impacted him and brought him to the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I'm talking about Al-Hajj Malik Al-Shabazz, aka Malcolm X. He had takbir.
خلعنا يا والله خلعنا بهذا.
I was the only one with the lights right in my eye. I can't sing anything, but I guess that's the purpose.
تكلم على شاباز مالكوم اكس.
So continuing that discussion, my question for especially the Teaneck residents, because in Teaneck public schools, and on many public schools, we are required to read the autobiography of Malcolm X. What was his influence in shaping American Muslim identity? This question is for our dear Imam Abdullah Smith.
في المدرسة يقرأوا على مالكم إكس، ما هو التأثير تاعو على الشخصية تاع المسلمين في هذاك الوقت.
Well, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X when I was in high school, and for me, I can speak about me personally because I read the autobiography of Malcolm right when I accepted Islam. I was around 14, 15 years old, and I really didn't know much about Islam.
الله أكبر. هذا الإمام اللي يتكلم حاليا اعتنق الإسلام في عمره 14 سنة.
While Malcolm was living, but I can say that the story of Malcolm, as we read it in a book, and a lot of us, we watched his story on television, and we heard stories. His story was so very inspirational for us because it showed that even though he had a past, which many people who grow up in American society without Islam, they have a past with different things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not pleased with. And a lot of times, when we meet some of these people who are entrenched in some of these activities, we kind of are a little judgmental when they walk into the masjid, right? But one of the things that we learn from the story of Malcolm is that even people who have that past can make a change. Even people who have that past can make a difference. Because Malcolm had a past and he made a change. And not only did he make a change, he was able to make a difference. He was able to leave a lasting impact. So much so that here we are, 50 years now? 60 years since assassination? About 60 years. We're 60 years after his passing, and we're still bringing him up and talking about his impact. All from an individual who had a past. And so that serves as an inspiration for all of us. It serves as an inspiration to all of us that even though he started off late in life, even though he had all of these different issues that should have served as a roadblock to his success as relates to his religion, as relates to the knowledge that he was able to gain. However, he was able to cross all of those, and he was able to get over all of those roadblocks, and he was still able to succeed. He was able to succeed in his own personal life, he was able to succeed in his religious life, and we should be able to take inspiration from that to show that we can succeed if we try, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, one laysa lil-insani illa ma sa'a. Man only gets what he strives for.
Malcolm, I think, was, there's so many, he's multifaceted. So we could spend the entire discussion just dwelling on one aspect of his life. So I want to just mention two as quickly as possible. One is the importance of parents establishing a solid foundation in the children's lives. So Malcolm didn't come out of a vacuum. His father was an organizer for the Garvey movement, the United Negro Improvement Association, and Malcolm went door to door with his father. Malcolm listened to his father teach. So Malcolm learned the foundation of Dawah. And so later in his life, when he's opening all these Muhammad temples for the nation of Islam, all of the East Coast, there's a foundation that he's operating from. His love for knowledge. His mother was a writer for the Garvey paper. His mother was extremely well educated. She knew French, she knew English, possibly other languages. And so Malcolm did not come out of a vacuum. He came out of a home that was committed to struggle and committed to establishing a solid foundation in their children. He went astray, as Imam Abdullah mentioned, rightfully. But that foundation was there, so he had something to come back to.
مع السلامة وبارك الله فيكم الحضور.
We as parents, our job is to establish as solid a foundation in Islam, in community activism, an integral part of the religion. And family is important. The second point is courage. Malcolm wasn't a coward. And because he wasn't a coward, two things, many things, but I already went on too long. Number one, he wasn't afraid to change when he learned the truth. So when he found out things in terms of this Islam that weren't right in the present he was in, he moved to a better future. And secondly, he wasn't afraid to die for his truth, for the truth, for his people, for Islam. And we have to internalize those lessons, because the days before us are not days that are conducive to the success of ours. So those are two things we can learn from the life of Malcolm X.
One thing I think also that's, if you don't mind sharing, is that Malcolm in many ways forces us to redefine how we see history. People tend to look at history in the West as something that's physical. But we believe that history can last beyond something that's physical. وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا, right? In Surah Al-Kahf, their father wasn't there, right, physically, and he hadn't really left anything for them to even know that that was where their wealth was. But his taqwa, وَمَن يَتَقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever is dutiful to Allah, Allah gives them a way. One of our teachers, Dr. Jairsy, used to say, "Matu wa ashu," right? The people of sincerity and the people of honesty and integrity with Allah, they have died, but they're still alive. But أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون, even those people who died as shaheed. So, one of the beautiful things I think about Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz in the school you mentioned, we don't operate it anymore. That was through his sister. Ella Collins is Malcolm's sister. Her son is the president, or is still running that foundation with us. He's the head of that youth. Isn't it interesting that those of us who became Muslim, usually when you go down the isnads of our embrace of Islam, you find somewhere there is Malcolm, the autobiography, some interaction with Malcolm's life. But then also for a post-colonial community that is dealing with the headache of colonialism in America and how it's impacted, Eurocentrism has deeply impacted the Muslim psyche. How many Muslims today, let's be honest, if a brother came into the masjid with the same problems that Malcolm had, would welcome that brother? And how many of them would believe that he had a future? So in many ways, Malcolm is a reminder, a nadir to our community that may have problems with racism, may have problems with bigotry, may have problems with whiteness and brownness and all of that. You can't say you love Malcolm and be a bigot. And you can't say you love Malcolm and you have problems with black people. You can't say you love Malcolm, but then socially you are segregated and not open to other Muslim brothers and sisters coming into your spaces who may not look like you, who may not act like you, and may come from a different socioeconomic reality. To say you love Malcolm and to act like that would be hypocrisy. So isn't it interesting that Allah decreed that a man would embrace Islam who has a past? Shawqi said, أخوك عيسى دعا ميتا فقام له وأنت أحيت أجالا الرمم. Oh Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, your brother Isa brought people back to life, but you brought generations back to life. And one of them is Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz, rahimahullah. But the irony of that being sort of the iconic Muslim, new Muslim in America, in face of a community that has to constantly evict from its mind the virus of white supremacy in a post-colonial hangover. And for all those who are white and embrace Islam, Malcolm is a reminder to deal with that and to be truly Muslim with Muslims. So his history is barakah. And even though he's not alive to teach us, to what? Ashu. He's still here teaching us. Allah. Takbir. Allah.
Yeah, can you gotta spice it up. It's all right. Variety is the spice of life. I want to say one more thing, and that is Malcolm, he was a champion of his people. of the African American people in this country, by him envisioning a future where we all can live together equally as brothers and sisters and move beyond that phase. So he said, you know, as long as the problems of the then 20 million Negroes, so-called Negroes in America exist, I will continue to be Malcolm X. But when we can live together as a society who are beyond these hang-ups, I'm paraphrasing, then I can move into that phase of Islamic, true Muslim brotherhood and sisterhood. And that's what Dr. Sherman Jackson refers to in his book, Islam and the Black American, as the third resurrection. And some of you guys, you know what the first and second resurrection involve. You should all know because you're in Jersey, and that history is so deep here that the only way you can avoid it, you can't even avoid it with like knee boots. You need those trout fishing vest boots, like all the way up to your chest, because you knee deep in it here in New Jersey.
I agree with what you're saying, all of you, and one of the things that we see is that Malcolm came through education, enlightened, and removed racism. And Islam is a religion that is against racism, as we know, لا فضل عربي على عجمي or عجمي على عربي. And it's very amazing that Imam Suhail brought up a issue which I, in White Islam, in 25 years, ever since we built this organization, and in these 25 years, we have so many converts, rewords, saying, Imam, this masjid is not reword friendly, or that masjid is not reword friendly. Like our dear Imam said, that what if someone like Malcolm just walks into your masjid, and you know, Imam Suhaib shares this sentiment with me, which I am also against, that we have Arab mosques, we have Pakistani mosques, we have Bangladeshi mosques, we have Egyptian mosques, we have that. Unfortunately, for lack of a better thing, our society has become where masajid are built by certain ethnicity background, and those people feel more affinity with there, and strangers and outsiders are not treated in the same equal sense. And we as American Muslim society, I'm talking to the youngsters here, the youth, the 20-year-old, the teenagers, that we have to come of age and advance ourselves from this mentality of being in your narrow-minded tunnel. How many Desi parents, when we say Desi, it means someone from South Asia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. How many Desi parents would be willing to give their daughter's hand in the hand of a brother who is from a white background or black background? Think about it. Think about it. We need to remove this hypocrisy from our hearts, from our souls. We need to come of age and say that we are one, united, and not just say Malcolm, 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 but when someone comes to ask for your daughter's hand, oh no, over my dead body, you're gonna marry that. I have youth coming to my masjid in many masajid. As you know, I've served in many masjid in New Jersey in these 25 years. And me being an immigrant from Pakistan as a Pakistani imam, I've seen so many youngsters, Desi youngsters, Indian Pakistani youth coming up and saying, my dad won't let me marry this man. My dad won't let me marry that man. And why? Because of ethnicity. So unity has to come from action.
شكرا
Keeping
أخي
that
أبو
discussion further alive. My next question is for Imam Zaid Shakir. We're going the same round robin circle, which is about the issue of racism. Teaneck is the first town to voluntarily desegregate its school. However, racism is at an all-time high for people of all ethnicities. Please comment on what Islam has to say about racism, and how can Muslims help eliminate racism in the American society?
I think to a certain extent the premise of that question is flawed, because there have been tremendous advances in this society and in the Muslim community at large. There are problems, but believe me, in 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990, even 2000, Barack Hussein Obama could not have been elected president in the United States. I'm not saying his legacy is good or anything. I'm not commenting. I'm just on the reality of race. 10 years ago, you wouldn't find a group of white Jews standing in solidarity with the Palestinians, shutting down Grand Central Station, taking over the floor of the Congress, and other actions that you've seen. So these are all indicative of the progress that's been made. Second point, I think we shouldn't romanticize racism or unity and a transracial reality in Islam. First of all, our deen acknowledges national, tribal, and ethnic differences. وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Malcolm himself, when he went to Hajj and wrote back, he said he noticed how the Muslim brothers and sisters congregated together, the Turks congregated together. You know, that's beautiful. We should be teaching Urdu to the young Desi youth. I would love to hear a brother or sister recite some Iqbal or Hafiz or Sa'idi as eloquently as our dear sister Aya recited her poem. But when we allow those differences to become barriers to creating a higher unity, that's when it becomes problematic. We call to those things more passionately than we call to the unity of the Muslims. That's when it becomes a problem. So I think there definitely we see some of those realities. Some of them, there's nothing wrong with the Desi masjid. Hopefully that'll make the Desi community stronger in their adherence to Islam. Or nothing with the African American masjid, this corporate down in the hood. Or because these are spaces, had they not existed, the Islam of the people in those communities, particularly the youth, might be a lot weaker than it is. However, we have to create a higher level of unity where we can all come together collectively to advocate for the people of Gaza. And we don't know, well, they're Palestinians, therefore they're Arabs, therefore that's not my problem. That's when these various distinctions become problematic. So there's a lot to be said on all of these questions. I'll stop there in the interest of time and be fair to the other panelists.
نعاود نخرجكم شوية تشوفوا. شكرا لك يا باشا، ميرسي بوك. خليك تصوري. Sorry, brother. نور السماوات والأرض. المهم فيها بركة. هذا مالكوم اكس اللي كانوا يتكلموا عليه. نديهم هذوما.
You've been working, huh?
اوكي نديهم. راهم دايرين سبونسور خويا ابو شهاب. راه ما شاء الله علينا. عاد وين يسرجوا صبابط هذوك دراري صغار واقفين هذوك وين يسرجوا صبابط شوف. ما شاء الله كلش منظم يعني. المهم انا ديك نروح دوق وما زي يكملوش حتى ل8 راهي 26 ما يكملوش الايفنت هذا الايفنت مو حتى ل8. الحاجة المليحة هادو من الجاليات هادو كي نقولوا الجالية باكستان والهنودة والأفغان سوري أفغان بنغلاديش ما شاء الله قراو ولا هما داروا تجارة ولادهم ما شاء الله قاريين قراو هنا ولاو أئمة كاين اللي ولاو أئمة هنايا راه مليح راك في العاصمة يا أخو مرحبا بك يا أخو المهم ولا درت لنا لايف من العاصمة نشوف واش فيها معك العاصمة شوف هنا هذا الأوتيل وفيه بزاف هنا لي كومباني يعني بزاف ما الشركات لهنايا يوم الحد بيان سور مغلوقين I'm live, yeah. How was the event? Did you like it? Yeah, I like it. So do you have anything to say? Just you want to mention, but I don't want to show your face. Yeah. What do you want to say?
It's good, alhamdulillah. Yeah, it's good.
That's good.
The environment's good.
Very good, yes. You have to be like all together as a Muslim, right?
Yeah. That's how it is. How many people is watching?
Actually, like they are sleeping. Like most of them, they are from back home in Algeria. So now they just told them I'm leaving. That's why there are few. Are you in high school?
Yeah, I'm in
Same thing like my kid, my son. Huh?
high school.
Which school?
High school.
Yeah, he's in Ghazali High School in Wayne.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's there.
I went to AG.
Where is that?
It's in Richfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like Al Ghazali and AG are the same.
That's cool. I wish you good luck. Barakallahu fikum. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. Take care. Thank you. Salam Said. نحبس هنا يا خوتي شكرا ابو شهاب شكرا على الحضور معنا هذا من بعد شغل كاين المال هنا من بعد شغل كي الفواره من بعد يشعلوه ولا شي حاجه اخرى يا ربي والله يوم الخميس يكون عندنا اللايف ان شاء الله نتمنى الحضور تاعكم كامل نختم هنا السلام عليكم بارك الله فيك ابو شهاب مع السلامه الى ليله سعيده السلام عليكم